Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you've watched my other videos, welcome back. If it's your first time tuning in, it's a great video. This topic is so good. And I'm super excited about it because narcissists are so cruel and destructive to other human beings. And this is a way to pull back the mask and to see what's behind what they're doing. And it's awful. So, exposing this tactic is awesome. Today, I'm talking about triangulation. And if you have I'll talk about both. If you have a narcissistic parent, they'll use this strategy. If you have a narcissistic partner, if you're in a romantic relationship, they'll absolutely use this strategy as well. So, triangulation can be looked at from different angles, like different interpretations, but the primary theme of it is the narcissist is constantly looking for supply. They're always striving to feed this void that they have within them, because they have low self-esteem, they have a low sense of self-worth, so they're constantly manipulating everyone around them to fill this void within themselves. Instead of doing any self-reflection or work on themselves, they just use everyone around them as pawns. It's disgusting. So, if you have a narcissistic parent, they will often triangulate siblings. This has been my situation. I have a narcissistic mother, and she has triangulated my brother and I. We have no contact, which I'm thrilled about at this point because it got to the point where he was so toxic, him and his wife. But triangulation, the interpretation of it, the definition, is when, so we're thinking of a triangle. So we have the narcissist makes themselves like the primary contact point. This is in relation to like a parent, like a sibling relationship. They will make themselves the primary source of communication, which they absolutely love because we know that narcissists thrive on like gossip and information and being relevant and being the center of attention. So this checks all their boxes in that aspect. So the narc will often, turn you and your sibling against each other right off the bat by making one of you the scapegoat, which was me, and the other one the golden child, which was my brother. So you'll already have like this, tension between the two of you because one of you is being treated like crap and the other one is like on a pedestal all the time. So there's that animosity. So anyway, so the narcissist will utilize that animosity and put themselves at the center. They love to divide and conquer because there's strength in numbers, right? In groups. So they don't want people teaming up against them. They have to be in control of everything as well. So my narcissistic mother for a long time was like planting these seeds of turning my brother and I against each other. And he always, like, I was always the scapegoat. I was always, like, treated like garbage and the bad one and the troublemaker. And I was always made to feel that way. I was always portrayed that way to the rest of the family, the extended family, as well as my brother. And, he was a flying monkey as well. So he always reported back to my narc mom and, enabling father about what I was doing bad or whatever. So so there was that. There was the clear roles of me being the scapegoat, him being the golden boy. But anyway, he always had like this resentment against me because, I don't know, like I was outgoing and living my best life, like playing sports, doing awesome at school, in spite of all this oppression at home. Like I, did my best to live my best life, like all growing up and stuff. So I had friends, I was in a sorority, like I did fun things. And he just always like had this underlying animosity and resentment towards me. So as we got older, like that only just snowballed, and my narc mother used that to her advantage. So she put herself at the center of the relationship and strategically chipped away at any connection that I had with my sibling, with my brother. So the narc loves to triangulate, putting themselves at the center of attention and turning the other people in this triangle against each other. So they're like the hero, they're the main source of communication. It's awful the way that these narcissists just treat human beings at their disposal. Here's the other part. Like if you're in a romantic relationship with a narcissist, this was mind-blowing to me because it just, there's so much like sanity in it, like learning about this, because I was engaged to a narcissist. Now, this was like almost 20 years now, not quite, but it was almost like 20 years. And it was such a tumultuous, like tortured experience for me. And I've said this before, like I consider myself to be a reasonable, like intelligent, academically, emotionally intelligent person. And I look back at the way I was in this relationship and I'm like, where did I go wrong? Like, what was wrong with me? And this is why. So, love is the most powerful human bond out there. So, love will, there's crimes of passion. Love makes people kill other people. Love will take the strongest person in the most control of themselves and totally spiral them out of control. So the narcissist knows this and they will use it to manipulate people. That's why often in the beginning they will love bomb you, to reel you in so that they can do with what they want to your heart and your emotions and your... Stop it, man. It's my dog. I'm sorry. So, when you're in a romantic relationship with an narc, they'll often, like a lot of people apply this to when they're ready to discard you, they're ready to dump you, and they find someone else. So they'll triangulate you against their new target. They'll make you feel threatened all the time. But it's applicable in so many other areas. Like, if you're dating a narc and like they'll talk about like their exes or their family or whatever, and they're always the victim. The narc is always the victim. So they will villainize certain people, whatever, like their ex, for example, and they'll talk about how bad their ex was, how bad they treated, and then they'll love bomb you all the while and make you feel like, oh, you're their savior, they love you, you're so great. And then all of a sudden, they'll start talking to their ex or something. Or like now in this day and age with social media, they'll do something very, like it's all very covert. They'll like something on their ex's Facebook or whatever, and you'll be like, what the heck? Like, they're telling me one thing. I'm going to do a video on cognitive dissonance as well. They mess with your head so bad. So say they like their ex's Facebook post or something like that. And you're like, why would they do that? So although they're triangulating, they're like bringing rise to this like rivalry and competition. They always want to make you feel like they're desirable, that you have to always be on your toes. That's the other thing with the narcissist. Like, one of the most important components to a healthy relationship is security. And when you're in a relationship with an narc, you have everything but security because they thrive off of attention and, feeling important. So if they triangulate you and make you feel like you have to be in competition, you always have to be protecting your relationship with them, they mess you up so bad. So they rip the rug right out from under your feet after they love bomb you. They get you all, cushy and thinking that you're in a secure relationship, but nope, because it's a narc. So they're always trying to make you feel like they have other options or they're so desirable. My ex did this ad nauseum. Like, he was always trying. Oh my gosh, here's an example. So when I was with this person, if you want to call him a person, I was in my young 20s, and it was a big thing to get shore houses, which, oh my goodness, I was so done with it. After like the first year, I was like, okay, I'm good. I had enough. But he loved it. He loved like all of and he was like 10 years older than me. So he loved all the attention that he got. And like I was about 21, 22. So that made him like 31, 32. Like, I was 31, 32. I had children. Like, I got married in 08, so I was like 28 at the time. And then we had Joey in 2009, my son. So I was about to turn 29. And then we had Madeline when I was in 2011. So I was about to turn 31. Like, I think back to like, that was the stage of his life that he was in when we were together. And he was running around like the shore, like in his 30s, like trying to elicit all this attention. And anyway, so I had he never wanted to have a shore house with me. Always had to be separate because he was trying to say that I needed to be closer to my friends because he knew what was right, So there was this one particular girl that was in my sorority, and he totally triangulated me against her. It's so messed up, you guys. Like, under normal circumstances, I never would have felt threatened by this person, but he, like, weaseled his way in, like, tried to, like, mess with my head, make me think that she wanted him, and, like, he would always kind of allude to like an attraction to her. I don't know. It's so messed up. I can't even. That's what the narc does, man. You can't put your finger on it, but they're screwing with your head so bad, and they're like turning you all upside down and backwards. So that's what happened with my romantic relationship with the narc. And what else? So your parent could triangulate you. Your romantic narcissistic partner will absolutely triangulate you. They just treat you like you're dispensable. It's so cruel and it's so gross. So that's like a little insight to triangulation. And the narcissist does it because they're so weak and they thrive off of attention, being the center of it, eliciting, making you feel like unsteady, that you have to be in competition for them. It's insane. So I'm so sorry if you have undergone this type of manipulation. If you've dealt with a narcissist, undoubtedly you probably have. So, but the best part is like learning. Like this stuff is it gives me such a rise. Like it's such a thrill because you're like, oh my God, I'm not crazy. Like it's a thing, it's a real thing. And they intentionally do this. Like they're so malicious and horrible. Like it's so, oh, it's so despicable that like human beings will do this to each other. And that's why, like, narcissists, man, they're like in a species of their own. They're like not even human beings. Like, anyone that has basic human decency, like, just common courtesy and respect for one would never even dream of doing that. That's why, like, it's so hard for us to be targets of this because it's so incomprehensible to like decent, caring, kind, considerate human beings. We're just like, what is happening? What is going on? How is this? How is this even happening? But make no mistake, the narcissist absolutely loves triangulation as a manipulation tactic. And they use love as a manipulation tool, of course, as well, because love is the strongest human bond in existence. So they take that and they run with it. They'll use, and they're like, I've always said this, like rabid animals trapped in a corner. They'll just whatever they can like grab onto, and like they're just ferocious. They'll do it all. They'll use anything that they can to get to you, to hurt you, to gain attention, to gain supply. So I hope this helped you guys. I was so, oh my gosh, this was so like validating to learn about triangulation for me, because we're not crazy. We never were crazy. This was a deliberate narcissistic tactic to screw with our heads. So, anyway, I hope this was useful to you guys. I hope it makes you, brings you some kind of validation and solace. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, drop me a comment, check out my Instagram. I will link that below. God bless you guys. We're down, but we're not out. We are learning about narcissistic abuse and, spreading awareness about it to help others. God bless you guys.